Hey guys, it's Dr. Randy Arno here with Headstrong Coaching. So let me ask you a question. Do you want some ideas for things to add to your morning routine that will not only improve your physical and mental health, but also help you stay focused on your goals throughout the day? If so, stick around. I'm going to share with you 8 science-backed ideas that you definitely are going to want to add to your morning routine. So, jumping right into it. First, number 1 is be consistent with the time you get up in the morning. And I'll add to this is a two-parter. Not only be consistent with the time you get up in the morning, but ditch the snooze button. Hitting the snooze button really does more to confuse your body than it does to help it. You might think you're getting some extra minutes of sleep in, but you're really just, one, making the process of getting out of bed more difficult. And then when you finally make the move to get out of bed, there's adverse effects that can really last for hours. Okay, so part of this is to be consistent with the time you get up in the morning. And this is probably the most important part. Enough rest and consistent bedtime and rise times are the key to getting good sleep. But enough rest is key to your physical health and your mental health and your ability to focus your attention and stay energized towards working towards whatever you need to get done during the day. And I'm going to do a whole nother video just on sleep and the importance of sleep. But for now, the main thing to keep in mind is going to bed at the same time and getting up at the same time are the best things you can do to get really good restful sleep. Hitting snooze, going back to the snooze button issue, hitting snooze just wastes sleeping time. You might think you're getting some extra sleep, but you really, whatever it is, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, it's not long enough for you to actually get into a stage of sleep that's really deep and restorative. So if you hit your snooze button 2, 3, 4, 5 times before getting up, really you haven't really added anything to your sleep in terms of restoring your body and your mind to take on the day. So my recommendation is, if you're somebody that's hitting the snooze, if you really don't need to get up until 30 minutes later, set your alarm for 30 minutes later and resolve to get out of bed as soon as your alarm goes up instead of hitting snooze. Okay, number 2. As soon as you get out of bed, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Your body spends all night recovering and using the stores of hydration and calories you consume during the day. Many times, a lot of us wake up already dehydrated as soon as we get out of bed. Drinking some water first thing in the morning helps replenish your body, helps you set you up for a morning without the mental fuzziness that can come along with not being very well hydrated. Now, I'll add to this tip. Adding a little bit of lemon juice is also what I would recommend. Adding a little lemon juice to the water in the morning actually helps with alkalizing your body, which is important for physical health and being resilient to illness. So I'd recommend that as well. And then if you want the most benefit, drink lemon water that's room temperature, or even better, that's been heated up a little bit. It actually helps jumpstart your digestion if you drink room temperature or warm water in the morning. Okay, number 3, you've gotten up at a consistent time, you didn't hit snooze, you've hydrated. Number 3, make up your bed. This is so crazy simple and so crazy useful in terms of setting you up for a positive mindset. It's such an easy win first thing in the morning. I mean, if you want to, when I first started adding this to my morning routine, I actually included that on my to-do list. So it'd be something I check off. But it's so easy to do. And it's like, okay, even if you're half asleep still, you can still do it and you feel like you've accomplished something. I know this sounds silly, But if you don't regularly do this, try it. Not only do you have that immediate mental success immediately in the day, but having a made-up bed actually produces a feeling, more of a feeling of peacefulness in your space. And that is also something that's really helpful for better sleep. So like I said, it seems really simple, but it actually helps instill a sense of motivation in the morning because you've taken action and accomplished something, which then can trigger a more motivated mindset. And on a personal note, I struggled with this for a long time. I mean, not really struggle because obviously I didn't suffer any dire consequences by not making up my bed, but I had heard for a long time that this was something good to do. But like other aspects of what I knew to be a healthy morning routine, I frequently skipped it because I told myself, well, I have too much to do to take time out to do this. Try it and you'll be glad you did. Okay, number 4, get some exposure to sunlight. Get out in the sunshine. This can, even if it's just for a few minutes. And you want to try to do this early, first thing in the morning. I don't have time to get into the whole biology of this, but sunshine is actually a signal to your body that the day is starting and that it should wake up. It actually triggers your circadian rhythm to go into that upswing where your body starts releasing chemicals that increase your alertness and attentiveness and ability to focus, and energizes you. If there's no way you can get sunshine, you might consider investing like in a sun lamp to turn on in the morning that actually has like the same wavelength of basically it mimics sunshine. But definitely do your best to just step outside. What I do, and I almost feel kind of silly when I started doing this, but I'll just step out into the yard and find a place where the sunshine is coming down and just stand in the yard and let it soak in for a few minutes. All it takes is a few minutes. Your eyes register that and it triggers that circadian rhythm to energize you. Okay, related to this, number 5 is move your body. Move your body in some way. If you're somebody that likes to go to the gym and do a heavy workout, that's awesome. If you're a runner and you like to go for a nice long run, that's awesome. If you don't do any of those, going for a walk is fine. Gentle walking, doing some gentle yoga, something where you're just moving the body and getting the blood flowing, even for just about 20 minutes, can really help wake you up. And obviously it helps maintain physical fitness. Better fitness makes you more resilient to stress and makes you less quick to get tired during the day, both of which are going to help you maintain focus on your goals and tasks at hand during the day. Getting out of nature is the best if you can, because there's actually good research showing that being out in nature has a calming and centering effect. But it can also help you. You can do double duty and get that exposure to the sunlight. And don't worry if it's a cloudy day in terms of the sunlight. The UV rays still are making it to your eyes, even if it's a cloudy day, which is the most important thing for activating your circadian rhythm. Number 6 is to meditate. The act of meditation is usually very relaxing to the body, and it also, over time, if you practice it on a regular basis, improves your mental and physical health. I know if you've never done meditation before and you're not familiar with it, it can kind of seem woo-woo to some people, but it's really just nothing more than sitting in the quiet and focusing your attention on something. For instance, your breath. Simple meditation is spend 5 to 10 minutes in the quiet, sitting undisturbed, just focusing on your breath. Even doing this 5 minutes a day can have really significant impacts on your physical and your mental health. If you're interested in more techniques on this, I'm going to do more videos because this is so important, where I'm going to teach you a number of different meditation techniques and walk you through some meditations. In the meantime, There's all kinds of apps and out there. YouTube, just search mindfulness meditation. That's probably the easiest thing to do and the most useful that I'd recommend right now. And they'll walk you through it. They'll explain how to focus on your breath, close your eyes, and all that stuff. So start meditating. It only takes 5 minutes a day. Okay, number 7. If you really want to win the morning so you can win the day and accomplish what your goals are for the day, you've got to be clear on what your goals are. So take a few minutes and clarify your goals. So many people don't do this. They get up and they're like, okay, what do I need to do today? I've got to do this and this. I've got to get the lunches ready for the kids. I got to take the kids to school, and then I've got to do these tasks for work. Take 5 or 10 minutes and write down what you need to do for the day and what your goals are. We're not talking about huge life goals, and it doesn't matter how small or few or simple your goals are. Get it on paper. Think about what's the most important to you. So we're not talking about just a to-do list. If you're like me, my to-do list just get like this, and it's depressing because you only get through a few of them because you have so many and you're trying to do too many things at once. And that's fine to have a list of things you need to do, but prioritize them for that particular day. So don't just make a to-do list and just list goals, but pick like 3 or maybe 4 at the most that you absolutely have to get done today, so that you can focus all your mental energy on those 3 or 4 things. And it just takes a few minutes of thinking through what is most important to you to get done. And then don't just list them, but schedule them. Get out your planner and write down when you're going to do those and how much time you're going to devote to them. That way you take the guesswork and the mental energy out of making those decisions on the fly during the day, and then potentially losing focus by giving in to external demands. Like you get an email that you feel like, oh, I have to respond to this, or even internal demands like thinking about other tasks you need to get done, and where you may end up just like switching back and forth between tasks, or even worse, multitasking, where you actually don't get as much done. Okay, number 8 and the final one for this video today is to cultivate gratitude. This is so simple yet so powerful. And you've probably all heard about this, that feeling grateful is good for your mental health and your energy and focus. But like I heard a guy I follow his podcast, Brendan Burchard, say, just because something is a common wisdom isn't something that's commonly done. So cultivating gratitude is really simple, yet many people don't really sit down and take the time to actually cultivate gratitude. We're all grateful for things. If you ask people what you have things you're grateful for, everybody agrees they are. But thinking through what you're grateful for in the here and now, at least a few times a week, that creates a grateful emotion, the emotion of gratitude, which is what is so powerful. So I'm not suggesting you do this because I believe you're not grateful. On the contrary, like I said, everything has something they're grateful for, but it's the act of bringing these things to mind that creates the emotion of thankfulness, and which has such a profound impact on our feelings of happiness and well-being. There's tons of science on this showing if you just spend a few minutes in the morning thinking about what you're grateful for, and I'd recommend writing them down. It doesn't matter exactly how you do this as long as you make a regular habit of doing it. What I've found the easiest thing to do for me is to just keep a gratitude journal. And you just take a few minutes in the morning and think about and actually write down things that you're thankful for right now. It can be little things. It can be big things. When I think of like big things that I'm grateful for, I'm thinking of like my close friends, spouse, parents, your health, progress you've made on a big project or completing a big project. having a decent place to live with indoor plumbing and electricity, which interestingly I came to appreciate when I first started doing this gratitude. It was not too long after Hurricane Katrina, and I came to really appreciate electricity. But like I said, it can be anything, and it's unique to you. Little things can just be, like something nice that somebody did for you recently, something nice somebody said to you, a compliment, a positive change in the weather, warm blankets on a cold evening. For me, the smell of coffee brewing in the morning, the sound of cats purring or birds chirping. It doesn't matter what it is, whatever it is that you're thankful for, take the time to bring it to mind and write some of those down. So, you don't have to jump in and be doing all of these things all at once. I can guarantee you it's taken me a while to cultivate a good morning routine. And it's better to add slowly than try to add them all in all at once and not be able to do it and sort of get down on yourself about that. Consider the benefits of each of these for you individually, but like I said, these are all science-backed practices that are all very useful. Start with one or two and work your way up. Set your alarm back 30 minutes or an hour if you need to start doing these. And just kind of a more personal note, I told you earlier, like it took me a long time, or I struggled with deciding to actually make time to make up my bed in the morning. Just kind of silly because it only takes literally like 1 or 2 minutes. But it was just one of those things where I was like, I'm really busy. I got so much to do. It's going to be better for me to jump into my work rather than make my bed. The same goes for most of these things on the list, honestly. For a long time, they sounded great. I knew the science behind them, and I wanted to start doing them. But I wanted to start doing them when I had more time. But ironically, you will find that taking the time to do these things will give you more time because you're going to have a return on your time investment in terms of creating the right motivation and energy and mindset in the morning to be successful and focused during the day. It'll create a return on your time investment in terms of helping you cultivate a sense of calm centeredness, a well thought out plan for the day so that you can stay focused and avoid all of those distractions that we have in this day and age and detract from your efforts towards your dream goals. So try these out. Start small. Keep adding. I hope you find these useful. If you did, make some comments below in this video. If you have questions, feel free to message me or comment below and I will answer them. And I will be back with you soon for some more tips on regaining focus.